I guess I don't have anything else to do because here's another wave. I'm trying not to get too much in the window. Look at that. This is another wave since the first video that I made. I don't know how well you could see it. Like I said, I don't believe in opening my door, but I believe you could see how it is coming down out there, y'all. Don't you see your cookout? Hey, let it happen now. You can still cook out a little while, and run in the house. Or either if you got a porch. You know, you could cook out on the porch because I've done it. I've cooked out on the porch. But, you know, we were inside of the house. I don't know if I'm still videotaping or not, y'all. I'll tell you nothing but the truth. I just don't know what's happening anymore. One phone works, one phone don't work. I don't know. I'm hoping to get something. See, this is it doesn't slow down. See, it slows down just that quick. I see a person across the street standing on his porch. Let me see, dare I try it just because he's doing it? Dare I? Mother man. I just go sneak to the door, y'all, real quick. Because I don't hear no thunder. Let's see. Oh, I heard it that time. I heard the thunder that time. Better get in here and close the door. I don't play with that. But I thought it was over. But I saw a guy across the street when I was looking out the window. He was standing on his porch. But like I say, if you really want to have a cookout, you could bring your cookout indoors. We used to cook out in the wintertime. You know, it didn't make us no difference. Well, sometimes, not all the time, but, this guy that, he used to have his grill out there on the back porch, and he would be doing ribs and... I feel like I heard a little shake. Hope there ain't no earthquake. See, I don't feel it now. Maybe it was a truck or something passing by. I don't know, but I didn't hear it. I just felt, in my seat, in my feet, on my... You know how you can feel like a vibration or something? I don't know, y'all. This weather has been something else. I mean, this is July. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is July. I believe it has rained every day on July thus far. Plus every day last week. I think one day maybe it didn't rain. Yeah, I think it was. We had one day without rain. I believe it was last week. See, now I can hear the thunder. But it sounds like it's a distant, it's a distant thunder. But I'll say for the last couple of weeks, we've been having rain almost every day. Every day. It would stop. Because, I've been going to the store. And then one day, I think I got home just in time before the rain started. And then just as suddenly as it started, almost it stopped. Which is what it's doing today. We'll get a downpour, then it seems to stop, and then here comes another downpour. That's why I have a second video. But anyway, I'm not going to make a long video or anything like that, y'all. I'm trying to wait for this storm to pass so I can listen to the news. It seems like I want something else. And this is another thing that I bought. I had never seen these before. I think they call them megabytes. They're the goldfish. But to me, they taste a little better. And they're definitely bigger. No doubt about it. It looks like a little... Let's show you one. Because I had never actually seen them in person. They're goldfish. See how big it is? But it's pretty good. I mean, I can't complain about those. Because I almost ate the whole bag almost. I said, gee. I had never heard. They had all this sitting right there at the courtesy desk, y'all. You know, you in the line. I guess they said, well, let me put something here for them to look at while they're in line. You know, that's how you get. That's how they get sales too. You know, like when you in line at the cashier, you got your gum, you got your candy. You might not even be thinking about no gum or no candy or anything like that. But since it's right here, and you are waiting, might as well grab you some. But you know what I haven't seen in a long time? Remember they used to have the little bags of peanuts? Do they still have those? Seems like I haven't seen them. You know, the little bags of peanuts. Because I remember like way when we were down yonder home, y'all. And we used to have those little bags of, I believe it was Planters even back then. I think it was Planters peanuts, you know, with the salt and all that on it. And we used to take the little bag of peanuts and put it right in the soda. Oh, yeah. And it would be so good. Because we was out there in that field, y'all, all day long. We didn't come home for dinner. And, you know, it depends on what we were doing out there in the field. And usually if you're picking cotton, because I started picking cotton at a very young age, but I was scared of those little worms. They had those inch worms, and oh, Lord, I couldn't take it. And we would set up like a sheet. You spread a sheet. You know, you get a little clearing there in the cotton patch, cotton fields, whatever you know, whichever you call it. And then you sit, you know, you spread out a sheet. You have your lunch or dinner or whatever you're going to eat for lunch that day. All that is right there at the sheet. And then you have maybe something to drink. And, you know, we brought stuff that you could eat, like maybe pork and beans, a can of pork and beans, Vienna sausage and crackers. Something to eat. We didn't go home. We were out there in that hot sun from sun up to sundown. And sometimes we would get paid only like $5. You had to pick 100 pounds of cotton before you even get paid $5. And I remember my mother, she used to carry, she actually made her a sack, you know, like a burlap sack. And she would sew, I think it was, I don't know if it was a whole sack and a half a sack together. I don't remember, or it was a 2 whole sacks. I think it was a sack and a half. Because her and my brother, I think my brother Louis, he used to pick pretty good cotton too. He picked like 200 pounds a day. And my mother picked about 250 pounds. I was looking to pick 50. Like I said, I would have probably starved if I had lived down south because I was scared of the insects. I was terrified. And we would, you know, just stay out there in that hot sun all day long, get up early in the morning and get what my mother used to say, go out there and get the dew. You know, the dew was, you know, when the cotton would be wet. And so you get that, you would have more weight, you know, when the weigh time come. And they had what they call a sawhorse. I think it was it a sawhorse or a weigh horse or something like that. They would bring that to the field, and they had these weights, like maybe they would have a 50-pound weight and a 100-pound weight. And this is how they did it, to weigh to see how much cotton you had picked that day. And sometimes I think my mother would make maybe $10 or $15 a day. Poor me, I don't even know what I made. I know one time this man, well, his name, we call him Mr. Romer. He told me he would give me 50 cents if I picked, you know, if I picked 100 pounds of cotton. Oh, you think I didn't do it? Oh, yes, I did. I picked that 100 pounds of cotton that day just to get that 50 cents. But that was a lot of money. You could buy a lot. You know how things change. You could buy a lot with that 50 cents. Oh, yeah, I was glad to get that 50 cents. And my other brother, I'll say for the family, us as a family, not counting me. Because, like I said, I was lucky to pay 50 to get 50 pounds. I would stand there and pick the trash out the car. And I didn't even feed myself. I was young though, spoiled, kind of spoiled, I guess. And so my mother, I think she picked maybe $15 worth of cotton. And my brother, he would probably pick about $10. My other brother would pick about $10, 10, 20, 30, 35, 45. So amongst all of us together as a whole family, working out there in that high field all day long, my mother and her 5 children, we probably made about $50 that day, a day. And then my mother would have to save money, for the winter. And then after we got a little older, we could pick cotton on a Saturday. We could go pick cotton on a Saturday, and we got to keep the money that we made on a Saturday. Saturday morning. Those were the days, but this was normal for us to have to work like that. I'm talking back in there, still back there in the 50s. Because when we came up here, it was 1960 when we came north. And so I was 14 years old this time. I said, Lord, thank God. I probably would have starved to death if I had to live down there on that farm. And I was scared of the animals, scared of the chicken. I was scared of everything. My mother said, go out there to the hen house and get an egg. I'll make a pudding. You used to call it a little pudding back there, back in that day. But in fact, she was making a cake, a little scratch cake, just so we could have something sweet. We'd be so happy. And so she told me to go out there in the hen house. Oh boy, me and the hens, me and the chickens. So what I would do, I'd get some corn or something and throw it over there so the chickens would run over there on that side. They were fenced in. We didn't have free. Yeah, well, at one time we did have the chickens were running free on the yard, but for the most part they had a fenced-in, area of the yard, and then they had like a hen house that they would go in there at night and go to sleep. And so my plan was get an ear of corn, get all the kernels off the corn, and throw it way over there so the chicken could go running over there to get it. And while they was over there doing that, I'd run in the hen house and see if I could find an egg or 2, just for the pudding. And by the time they got through plucking up the thing, I was out of there. I was scared of the chickens. And to this day, I ain't crazy about no chickens. I'm scared of them. Scared of all them animals. And then we had the pigs. They were nasty. Ugh. But they were good. I remember my mother making homemade sausage. Kill a hog, you kill a hog maybe once a year. And you would get all that. You would get the ribs, the bacon, the sausage. I remember her making the sausage. And she made what they call cracklings. And that would be so good. Cracklings. I don't know exactly what the cracklings were made from, what part of the hog, but there was a thing that you press down and press it to get all the grease, I guess, to get all the grease out of it. They would be so good if you got you a sweet potato, and some cracklings. Honey, you had to live there to know what I'm talking about. And the big difference, the way food tastes, there's no doubt in my mind that, not today so much, but when we first came to Connecticut, you could tell that the food down there was much better. People grew, they grow their own food, basically. And I think it's because of the soil. I don't know why that food was so good and tastes so different down there than it did, up here. But it was definitely visibly and taste-wise, you could tell that it was much better. And then we'd have the quarter meeting and everybody, at the church, you had the quarter meeting, so to speak. And everybody bring their little food. I think I'm going to have to get on this video, y'all. Oh, boy, I get to talking about down home. Oh, boy. You know what? I've been up here 15 minutes. But anyway, the quarter meeting you go, everybody brought a little box. My mother cooked cake, pie. Everybody brought their little food, fried chicken. That was, woo, yeah. Now you're talking to me. And it was just beautiful down there. And I still would say, at that time, when we were growing up, the ideal place to bring up a child would be in the South. A city, inner city like we're living in right now, is no place to bring up a child. To rear them up. Because they're exposed to too much, way too much, too soon. Well, anyway, y'all, I'm going to get off the video. I already ate my popsicle. I'm thinking about should I have another one. So I may have another popsicle, and since the storm seemed to pass, and see if I can get my nap out. Until then, I'll talk to you again soon.